Okay, here we go. So this is the 2022 paper 1 suggested solutions as follows. So the first question here, calculate the numbers there, right? So the whole bunch there. This is very straightforward. All it asks you to do is to press the calculator carefully. The thing to note here is they want to test whether you can correct to 4 significant figures properly. So just press the calculator and you write down in 4 significant figures. It is 47.47. Nice easy number, right? Okay. Now the second question, express 1287 as a product of its prime factor in index notation. So once again, how to do prime factorization. This is something that we have done way back in January. Some of you may have forgotten. It's time to refresh your memories. Okay. So all I need to do is if I go and take 1287 using the ladder method, right? I will go down. The smallest prime number is divisible by, it's not 2. Let's try 3. Yes, I can divide by 3. And then I will get 4 and 429. Then I can divide by 3 again. This give me 1. Oh, where's my calculator? 429 divided by 3. 143. Right? At this point, I can no longer divide by 3. Next smallest prime number is 11. So divide by 11, I get 13. 13, right? So therefore, 1287 is actually 3 squared times 11 times 13. Okay? So most students get this correct, no issue. Okay? Now, next one, given that 3993 is 3 times 11 cubed. Find the LCM of these two numbers. So let's take a look again. So LCM, right? So let's put them side by side. 1287 is 3 squared times 11 times 13, right? 3993 is 3 times 11 cubed. So with this information, the LCM, we take the higher power. So higher power here is 3 squared. Here is 11 cubed, and here is 13 to the power 1. If 13 doesn't exist for 3993, it simply means 13 to the power 0. So 13 to the power 1 is definitely larger. So that's what we have. And we work this one out. Okay. This is equals to 155,727. Okay. Okay, so up to here, those of you who submitted your paper for me to check has got them all correct. This is the one, right? This question is the first one that quite a number of students did not got it successfully. So let's take a look at what happened here. Okay, what happened here is we have a number k. It is between 200 and 300, that's 5. And the highest common factor of k and 90 is 15. So what's the situation? So let's list it down. 90, if we do prime factorization on 90, we get 2 times 3 squared times 5. Right? Now, as for k, we do not know what it is yet, right? But we do know that the HCF is actually 15. So HCF 15 means 3 times 5, right? Okay. So what this tells us is this. First of all, okay, the HCF does not have a 2, right? Which means can 2 be part of k? Definitely cannot. Okay. So in this case, without the 2 here means 2 to the power 0, which means k here is 2 to the power 0. So quite a number of students actually got the answer 210 here. And 210 actually is divisible by 2. But we're not supposed to be able to be divisible by 2. So that is incorrect, right? So that's the first thing to note. Then of course we have 3 to the power 1 here. And 5 to the power 1 here. So just by comparison, I should have a 3 to the power 1. And I need a 5 to the power 1 over here, right? So we have this scenario. Okay. So now what happened is k needs to multiply with something. Okay. Let's use a box instead. So need to multiply by something. So that's where we start testing out. What are the prime factors that is after 5, larger than 5, that allow us to get a number between 200 and 300. Okay. So eventually it's just the you just go down the list, right? So we have 3 times 5 times 7. That's the next one, which is less than 200. No good. So next one, the next prime number after 7 is 11, which is 165. Still less than 200. No good. We try the next prime number again. So 3 times 5 times the next prime number is 13. Still less than 200. No good. So the next one after that will be 17. And yes, we figure out that 17, right, will give us a number that's in between 200 and 300. So therefore, k is actually 3 times 5 times 17, which gives us 255. There we go. Okay? Yeah, so those of you who obtain 210, you know where you go wrong. Be careful, right? The important thing is it cannot be divisible by 2. Okay? Right, moving on. Next question. We have Imran counting how much he has saved in a bank. He has 50 pieces of $5 note, and $2 notes. Total value is not more than 200. Okay? So if we have X pieces of $5 note, form an inequality. So that's what we need to do, right? So if we have X pieces, okay, let's go back. So yeah, X pieces of $5 notes means the number of pieces of $2 note, right, is going to be equals to 50 minus X, right? So he has 50, X of them is actually $5, then the remainder, which is 50 minus X, got to a number of $2 notes. Therefore, the total money that he has is actually 5 times X plus 2 times 50 minus X. And the question says not more than 200. Not more than 200 means less than or equal to 200. And that is your inequality, right? The question says form an inequality, so you must form the inequality, which is this particular line that I highlighted. So after we get that, then we need to go ahead and solve it, right? Which from there we can find the maximum number. So solving this, we have 5x plus 100 minus 2x is less than or equals to 200. So 3x is less than or equals to 100. X less than or equals to 33 and 1/3. And since x represents the number of notes, x has to be an integer. So therefore, maximum x is actually equals to 33. Okay? Right. So far so good, Adam? Yeah? Okay, next one. Jason has 8 red candies and 3 white candies. Find the number of white candies he needs to buy for the ratio of red to white to become 2:15. Right? So what happened? Let's see. So the red candy, okay, that's just right. Red is to white, right? Red is to white. Original is actually 8:3, right? So what happened is now the number of red candy doesn't change, but the number of white candy, he actually buys more of them. So I need to match up the red candy. So the red is to white. New is 2:15. So if I want to match it up, I multiply by 4 is actually 8:60, right? So I want to actually match this. So once it match, I can compare the white candies. Okay. Therefore, number of white candies he needs to buy is equals to 60 minus 3, 57. There we go. Right? Okay, next example. We have Vivian. He runs 10 kilometers in X hours. How fast can she run in Y hours if she maintains the same average speed? Okay. So the first thing we need to sort out is find out what is the average speed, right? So average speed equals to 10 kilometer over x hours, which is equals to 10 over x kilometer per hour, right? Okay. So now keeping the same average speed, we want to find out how fast you can run. That means find the distance. So the distance now will be the speed, okay, times the time, and the time is y hours. So this will give us 10y over x kilometer. There we go. Okay. Right, moving on. Next one. Next one, we want to simplify this. Again, the thing to take note over here is that some students up till now still forget that the negative outside the bracket has to be distributed in. So if I distribute in, do the distribution properly, right? This becomes 2m minus 4 plus 3m. Because the negative and the 4 give us negative 4, the negative 3m give us positive 3m. So this becomes 5m minus 4. Okay? Got this? Right? Now, how about the one with fraction? Well, with fraction, the objective again is to make the denominator common. This is what we always try to do when we have fraction. So in this case, the denominator is 7 and 3. Maybe we make the denominator 21. So I multiply by 3 on this side, m plus 2. And then over here, I multiply by 7. So the denominator now is 21. This equals to 1. Which means 3m plus 2 minus 7m equals to 21. Because 1 times 21 is 21. So 3m plus 6 minus 7m is 21. Negative 4m equals to 21 minus 6 is 15. Okay. So this gives us m equals to negative 15 over 4. Okay. If you want to write it as mixed number, you can do that. Right. This will be 3 and 3/4 negative. Okay. So either form is fine. If you leave it as improper, usually is fine for this purpose, for this situation. Okay. So there we have it. Right. Right. Next question. Given two consecutive even number, okay, the sum of the larger number and 3 times the smaller number is 42. If the smaller number is n, form an equation, right? So again, take note, we need to form the equation first, okay? So the smaller number is n, means that the larger number is actually 2 consecutive, right? So consecutive means plus 2. If n is the even number, the next even number, I just add 2, right? So from here, now we form the equation. Larger number, this is the larger number, plus 3 times the smaller number is equals to 42. So again, this is the line that's formed the equation. This is where you get the first mark. Okay. So after you form it, the next step is to solve it. So this will give us 4n plus 2 equals to 42. 4n equals to 40. n is equals to 10. But here, some students actually put the answer as 10. Aha! Read the question, right? The question says, find the larger number. So what I really want to find is actually n plus 2, which is equals to 12. This is the n is the smaller number, n plus 2 is the larger number. So therefore, larger number equals to 12. Okay? So please read the question. Sometimes word problems, you get tricked. The question never asks you to find n, or the question never asks you to find x. The question asks you to find the larger number, and the larger number is actually n plus 2. So if you forget to add 2, you lose the marks. So always read carefully. Make sure you know what you are up to. Okay? Right. Next question. Factorization, right? So here they want us to factorize this. we look at this, and what we need to do is we just need to take out the common factor, right? So the common factor here, 16 and 12, common factor is 4. M square and M square, common factor is M square. N and N cube, common factor is N. So I'm left with 4, right? Because 16M and N, I take out 4M square N, I'm left with 4, minus 3N squared. And that's all. 1 mark, just do this. Okay? Right. Now the next one is a proper quadratic. So proper quadratic, we will actually need to do our either the rectangular matrix, or we actually do the cross method. So there are actually 2 ways to do this. But for this particular question, before we even do that, take note, there's actually common factor. So if I take out common factor 3, I'm left with M squared plus 3M minus 4. Right? So I just need to deal with M squared plus 3M minus 4. So if I take a look at the rectangle, use the rectangle method, or you can use the cross method. Okay, both method is fine. Right? I have M squared here, I have negative 4 here. Okay? So it means there is M times M over here. And to get a negative 4, what do? I need to find a combo that will give me 3. So in this case, the combo will be 4, positive 4, and negative 1, right? Because positive 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. But this will give us positive 4M. This will give me negative M, right? So using this combo, this square bracket part becomes M plus 4 and M minus 1. Okay? If you were to use the cross method, it's the same idea, right? I want M squared here, negative 4 here, positive 3M here. So I'll end up with M times M to give me M squared, 4 times negative 1 to give me negative 4. I have positive 4M here and negative M over here. So it's the same information shown in a different way. You do the one that you're more comfortable with. Okay? Right. The next one. Now the next one, I have 4 parts, 4 terms. So when you encounter 4 terms, the instinct will be by grouping. Okay? So if I do by grouping, what happened? For the first group here, 10x plus 6xy, I can actually extract out 2x. That gives me 5 plus 3y. And then for the second group, I can extract out y, right? I will end with 5 plus 3y. Now, 5 plus 3y is the common factor to be extracted. I'm left with 2x plus y. There we go. Okay? Okay, next one. Now, next one, they want us to explain why that particular expression is a multiple of 8 for all integer. So, again, you can see this type of question is worth 2 marks. 1 mark to show the working, 1 mark for the explanation. So, let's work this one out, right? 2x plus 1 square minus 2x minus 1 squared. Okay. This is actually you can expand everything and simplify, or you just do the a squared minus b squared. Both method is fine in this case, right? So maybe I like the a squared minus b squared. So in this case, I will have 2x plus 1 plus 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1 minus 2x minus 1. So I can do this. Okay? So this will give us 4x times, this will give us 2. Will give us 8x. Right? So since 8 is a factor of 2x plus 1 squared minus 2x minus 1 squared. Okay. It is a multiple of 8. There we go. Okay. Right. Of course, in this case, this only works. Okay. Why is my eraser not working? Eraser. Okay. When x is positive. Right? Okay. Okay, moving on. Next one. The equation of a straight line is of AB is given. Show that another line is parallel. So this one, another mathematical concept that's important. Degan, you practicing your maths? Huh? Important concept to know is that for parallel lines, they have the same Bob. Yeah, that's you, huh? So for parallel lines, what's the relationship between the gradient? For parallel lines, it means the gradient is the gradients are the same. This one important. Remember it for the rest of your life, okay? So what happened? We are actually looking at situation where the gradient is is actually the same or parallel, right? So what we do is we start from 6x plus 3y equals to 26. So that means 3y equals to negative 6x plus 26. This will be negative 2x 26 over 3. Okay? So therefore both AB and 6x plus 3y equals to 26 has the same gradient of negative 2. Right, both of them have the same gradient and the gradient is negative 2. There we go. Okay? Shown. Right? Shown. Okay? So next, what we do? They want us to sketch the graph indicating the x and y intercept. So what we do is we know the line will look something like this. Okay? Right? Label the axis. The y-intercept is 5. Over here, okay? Over here, we know that the rise over run is going to be negative 2. So since the rise is 5 units, the run here will be 2.5. Okay? You can write down 2.5. You can write down 2.5. It doesn't matter. It's the same value, right? So there we go. Okay? So we can also label this line. This line is y equals to negative 2x plus 5. Okay? Right. Moving on. The first 4 terms of a sequence is given. Write down the nth term. So what happened if we observe this, we realize that from one term to the next term, we actually add 4, right? We add 4. That means D is equals to 4, right? And the first term, A is actually equals to 12, okay? So the nth term, right? So we now know, okay, that the nth term is going to be 12 plus, we're going to add 4 8 times, right? So 12 plus 44. Okay. So the answer is 44. Right? Then we want to find the expression applying what we know. Tn is actually A plus n minus 1 times D. So 12 plus n minus 1 times 4. Got to simplify this. There are some students who forget to simplify. You just give me the answer like this. It's not good enough, right? So this is 12 plus 4n minus 4 equals to 4n plus 8. That is the solution that we want. Okay? Now, this one is badly done. Explain why 202 is not a term. So what we need to do is we actually need to begin by assuming that 202 is a term, and then to test whether n is an integer, because n is a term number has to be integer. Okay? So we're going to assume 202 is a term. Then we write down, that means 4n plus 8 equals to 202. 4n equals to 194. N equals to 48.5. Okay? So, since n is not an integer, right? 202 cannot be a term in this sequence. Okay? So that's how you test. You test to see whether the term number is actually an integer or not. Right? Okay, move on. Next one. Now the first 4 term of another sequence is given like this. Okay? Show that the n term is this. Okay, we can do this. Okay? So how do we do that? Well, we observe it carefully. Right? The term number, what happened is the term number is up here. And then we add the next 2 numbers actually. So we add n plus 1, add n plus 2. And then we divide by n. Okay? So we have to simplify this, which will give us 3n plus 3 over n. And if I extract our common factor, plus 1 over n. Shown. There we go. Okay? Right? Next one. Geometry. Right? So down here the diagram is given. The measurements are also labeled. They want us to calculate. No, I know, but don't need to be so loud. We will figure it out soon. Okay? Right? So down here, what we need to do is we need to write down, okay, angle CEA is actually angle DCE, right? Go take a look. DCE, okay? And the reason is alternate angles. Because CD is parallel to AE. Okay? So it means this is 66 degrees. Okay? Therefore, angle CED is equals to 180 degrees minus 66 degrees minus 61 degrees, because angles on a straight line, which gives us 53 degrees. Now let's write properly. Okay. So next, they want us to explain whether AB is parallel to CE, right? So what we can do is, do some calculation. We see that angle CEA plus angle BAE is actually equals to 53 plus 118 degrees, which is equals to 184 degrees. And this is actually not 180 degrees, right? So if AB is parallel, oops, spell wrongly, parallel to EC, if then angle CEA plus BAE will have to be 180 degrees because of interior angle, right? So hence they are not parallel. Okay? What?
CA should be 66.
CA is 66? Correct one. Where? Uh-huh.
CA is 66.
Oh, I write wrongly there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So students pointed out to me I wrote wrongly. Very good, alert students. Right? There we go. Okay? Right? Yeah. Right, we're almost done. Okay? Calculate the angle of ABC. So let's go. To calculate the angle ABC, what we can do is we can say that angle BCE equals to angle CED. And the reason is alternate angles. Because BC is parallel to FD, right? And this is 53 degrees. Therefore, angle ABC equals to 360 degrees minus 53 degrees minus 118 degrees minus 66 degrees, right? Because of angle sum of quadrilateral. Okay, so you know that any four-sided shape, the total interior angle add up to 360. So 123. There you go. Okay, next one. The interior angle of a regular polygon is 162. Calculate the number of sides. Okay, so what happened? Sum of interior angle is equals to n minus 2, which is the number of triangle we can form, times 180 degrees, right? So we know that. Okay, so since it's the regular polygon, that means now, okay, n minus 2 times 180, if I divide it by n number of sides, it should give me 162. So from here, we can work it out. 180n minus 360 equals to 162n, right? So that means 18n equals to 360, n equals to 20. It's a 20-sided polygon. Okay? Right. Okay. We are running out of time. Okay. So for the last two questions, I'll just provide you with the answers. Right. So down here, if I fill up the table here, if you look at this, okay, you can just calculate accordingly. This is actually 61. This is actually 769, right? And from here, okay, the question says a pie chart is drawn. So when we were practicing this, some student asked me, where's the pie chart? The diagram, they did not give you the pie chart. They just telling you if we draw the pie chart, right? So if we draw the pie chart, the angle in this case will be equals to 1404 out of the total of 3061. And then we map it to 360 degrees. This will give us 165.1 degree, 1 dp, right? Okay. And then over here, okay, in which group, male or female, did a greater percentage of electrical engineering? So take note, down here we only look at the electrical engineering. Some students in your practice compare it to all the students. We're not comparing to all the students, we are just comparing it to the electrical engineering students only. So the total is actually 1802. So the male, right, is actually 1360 out of 1802 times 100%. Okay, which is 75.472%. Okay, and then the female, right, is 442 over 1802 times 100%, which gives us 24.528%. So you find the difference. The difference is 75.472 minus 24528%, which is about 50.9%. Okay, so this one male 50.9, right? Right. Now the last question. Okay. The last question, I just need to verbally tell you. First thing to take note, you see this, right? It doesn't start from 0. And because it doesn't start from 0, what happens is the height, the difference becomes exaggerated. So hear me, because the aspect that is the issue here that is manipulated is that it doesn't start from 0. And the problem, the misinterpretation is because it doesn't start from the base, the difference is exaggerated. So you heard that, huh? So similar type of questions may come out. Please make sure you know how to answer them appropriately. Okay, so we'll end this here. We'll go through the 2023 paper next lesson. Right. Thank you, class.